if you have humility, you will earn respect. Those who are humble automatically receive everyone's respect. Now, let us understand this humility. So, humility is a virtue, and a virtue is the prerogative, the privilege of a powerful soul. We cannot be weak and virtuous. It doesn't work like that. Okay? Every virtue is the privilege of a powerful soul. A soul cannot be weak and virtuous. One thing we have to understand here. So when there is no spiritual power, then we would camouflage a vice as a virtue. Yes, so we always keep doing that. We always camouflage a vice as a virtue. So let's take, for example, love. So when you are a weak soul, you will camouflage love, you will camouflage attachment and lust as love. So you are pining to just quench your sensual desires, and then you would just give the other person the notion that, I love you, and then what you are actually intending is not love. Because so love is qualified by 4 things: acceptance, belonging, care, and detachment. So what we call as love, when we when we say I love you, the person says okay, I love you back, and then what starts that relationship, that has no acceptance, there is no care, there is just that this devouring nature of the relationship comes into play. So the thing is, you cannot be weak and virtuous. So until and unless the soul is powerful, the soul is full, there is no virtue that the soul can really express. So I was once talking to someone, and they said that because of Gyan, my life is a mess. So I said, why? So that lady, she shared something very interesting. She said that I heard in one of the classes that you must forgive. And then what I did is, my husband and I had a discord for many years, and we were living separate. So for the last 5 years, my husband and I were living separate, and there was a divorce case going on, and all that was just underway. And when I listened to that class, then what I did is I called up my husband, and I thought that I should forgive. So I called up my husband, and then he agreed, and he came, and he stayed with me for a month, and then he left me. And because of that, my whole, that whole foundation that I had lived 5 years separately, that was gone, and he played a trick, and he stayed with me. And so in the court, it was presented that this is not something that, these people have been staying under one roof, and it's a mutual thing, and it's not like there was some violence or something. Otherwise, how could they come together and stay after so long? So then I lost the case, and I did not get what I deserved in that relationship. So because I knew that lady, so I knew that she has a sister-in-law who stays upstairs, and she is not on talking terms with her for 10 years. And with the husband, she was not talking for 5 years. Then I asked her, why did you run and call your husband, and why did not you just climb one flight of stairs and go and talk to your sister-in-law? So she said, but the thing was, so I said, no, you see, you are not forgiving. This is not forgiveness. This is, you have attachment. You have issues with your husband. You still have attraction. You still have attachment. And you are camouflaging it as forgiveness. Because if forgiveness was what you intended, then you would first forgive the sister-in-law who is just sitting over your head, and you will not call your husband who is miles apart and who has abused you, and there is so much of things that have happened in the past. So why did you choose this and not that? So she said, I don't know. So I said, this is what you need to know, that you cannot talk about virtues until you have spiritual power. So if you try to be virtuous without paying attention to spiritual power, usually that virtue is Maya camouflaging a vice as a virtue. So we must understand this about humility also. When we say I am being very humble, it's not like that you're being humble. You are being humble in the places where you have no choice. So you are being humble with the boss, you are being humble with people who are higher in position with you, or you are being humble in a situation where you have roughed up somebody's ego in the past and you are afraid that backlash may come. So many a times, we don't understand that it's not humility. It is just our fear, our worries, our insecurities, which are camouflaging themselves as humility. And this is why humility doesn't give the desired result. So you see, when God says that if you are humble, you will earn respect, then it is a law. So, but why is it that we don't experience this? Because we are not humble, we don't understand humility. So humility is a virtue, and a virtue is the privilege of a powerful soul. So when the soul has swaman, when the soul has self-respect, when the soul knows who I am, when the soul has no insecurities, that is the time you can be humble. The capacity for humility can only arise when you are a full soul, when you're full of self-honor first. So when you know that I am Baba's child and there is nothing more than that, so anybody saying anything to me doesn't matter, it's okay, it's their opinion and I can take it without a pinch of salt. So you could just take it just like that. There is no problem with anybody expressing their opinion, because their opinion is their opinion and you know who you are. And you know who you are, you know your qualities, you are in complete possession of your qualities, you are capable of love, you are capable of respect come what may. So when you know you are a soul, when you know you are Baba's child, so you see Baba has the capacity to say namaste to his children. Baba is so humble. Baba can say namaste to his children. Baba is every day saying namaste to us. So just think about What is the quality of my father? My father is always respectful. So I have that capacity to be respectful, to communicate with love, to communicate with respect, come what may. And that is humility. So when you have that kind of self-respect and you are able to constantly maintain your respectful drishti, your respectful vibes, your respectful words, your respectful behavior, come what may, and you don't, humility is not like, you are always saying sir, sir, and please, please. That's not humility. You can say sir and you can say get lost inside of you. That goes together. It's not like on the outside if you say sir it's a sign of respect. No. Yeah, you can use respectful ways to address somebody. That's okay. But respect is beyond these words that we use. Respect is something that's there in your attitude, in your heart. It's something that you feel deeply for the other soul, because that is Baba's child. And every child of Baba, whether they think like you, whether your opinion, their opinion matters or not, whether they think highly or lowly about you, doesn't matter. They deserve to be treated respectfully. They deserve to be talked to politely. So that is something that you have the capacity for if you are in self-esteem. And if you continue doing that, then every soul is a soul. No soul is a stone. And every soul can melt. And everybody will come to a place where they know this is a soul we would love to be with. And then you earn their respect. And doesn't matter if it doesn't happen for 10 days, 20 days, 1 month, it's not a problem. You can wait. You have to be you. Why are you in a hurry? Do you have to change your course of action? Even if they don't change, are you going to change? Is that the plan? No, so you have to you are just you, and you have to continue being you. Why is that a problem? And they can take their own sweet time to come around. So Baba says this is something that we need to learn, but we must not forget that humility is not humility is not with what we think it is. So there was this one sister, and she said that my father-in-law is very abusive and very, he's very rugged in his behavior. And she said that when I came to Gyan, I thought that I should show respect to him, so I cooked a meal for him, and then he abused me. He even he pushed me, and he kind of he hurt me. But then I kept doing it. But then I said, but why did you do it to that length? So if he doesn't like the meal prepared by you, and he has a different choice, he can take it. You don't have to go and get beaten up all the time in the name of humility. The thing is, so let me explain what happens is, so when I understood the history of that sister, so as a child, her father had not given her any attention. So she was yearning for the attention of an aged male, a father figure. So she always yearned for that attention. And this is why she was going and doing this over and over and getting humiliated. But that that thing was not getting any closer to mutual self-respect, because the place from which that action is coming is not a place of self-honor. It's coming from a place of yearning for someone's attention. So if you are yearning for someone's attention, then let me tell you, they know you are yearning for it. And the sign of a weak soul is they will always make you starve for something you are yearning for. So these days, if somebody figures out you're yearning for something, they will never give that to you. Yes. So Baba says that it is not like if you come from an empty place and you do things in the name of humility, then you will earn respect. No, that's not going to happen. But if you understand that I am a virtuous soul, and even if you're going and placing food before somebody, you are, requesting somebody to eat, it's because you think it's the right thing to do. Yes, if I am going and preparing a meal for somebody, I am not doing it because they want it like this, they want it like that. I am doing it because I think that as a responsible soul, as a soul who is knowledgeful and full of understanding and a sense of responsibility, this is something that is the right thing to do. If there is somebody in and around me preparing food in Baba's remembrance and offering it to them, if I can, that's a spiritual duty, so I do it. And if they refuse to take, then I may give them some choices if it is okay. But why do I have to get beaten up? If that person is constantly beating you up or is pushing you, then you let them be. You let them be. They have the kitchen, they can cook and eat. What's the problem? So the thing is, you are not getting beaten up because you are humble. You are getting beaten up because you are vying for somebody's attention. There is a very thin line between all these things. And sometimes we are always crossing the line. So the line is, you seat yourself in your self-respect, you show respectful behavior to the other person, but you also have to draw certain boundaries where you don't take sorrow, and if it is physical abuse, you protect yourself. Got it? So if it is something that the other person is just saying, or their expressions or something, then Baba has given the powerful soul the power that you don't take sorrow. So Baba has given us the capacity to not take sorrow, because you understand that soul is weak and they have their own opinion and they are saying words which suit their sanskar, so it's okay. But if it is physical abuse, then you have to keep yourself safe. You don't have to get beaten up in the name of humility. That's not okay. So we must understand these distinctions. So sometimes what you are camouflaging as humility is a certain weakness in your personality, and you are seeking somebody's recognition, and that's why you are every day going and so there was this one brother, and he said that I did something wrong to my wife, and now I am every day saying sorry, sorry, sorry. So I said, why are you doing that? You said sorry, you said once, twice, thrice. Why don't you give her the time to accept your sorry? Why are you every day calling her? Why are you every day disturbing her? Yes, there are methods to send the message that you're here, you're waiting. That's a different thing. But why are you every day, pushing her to accept your apology? So he said, I cannot stay alone at home. I feel very lonely. So I said, this is the reason she is not accepting your apology, because it's not because of her, it's because of your own loneliness that you're hankering after her. So obviously she will not accept your apology. So he said, no, I don't mind. Oh, so even if she slaps me, I'm okay. So I said, no, you are not taking that slap because you are very generous hearted or something of that kind. You are just you are willing to get slapped because you are lonely and you can't deal with it. So find a better reason. So I told him, go find a better reason to be with your wife. Being lonely and feeling fearful in a house is not a good reason to be with your wife. So, so, so you see that this is the thing, that what we are camouflaging as greatness is actually weakness. And when you're doing that, it doesn't work. So the first thing is, you improve your relationship with Baba, because Baba is the ocean of virtues, and my relationship with Baba will give me enough self-esteem, will fill me with strength, power, peace, happiness, and then whatever I do will not be because of what I am seeking from that conduct. It will be an expression of my fullness. And then it works, and then you get the right response. Okay, so this is something. And then today, Baba of course is talking about many things, but I will take up Baba's thing about faith today. And Baba says, if you have faith that Baba has come and Baba is making you the master of heaven, then that will be reflected in your state of joy. So your happiness will reflect that. And some Baba's children, they say that I understand, I know that Baba has come, I understand that we are going to heaven, and there is no happiness. So you don't have faith in it. Yes? Let's say somebody tells you that you have won a lottery of 1 crore. Okay? So how will you behave? You will just dance up and down in joy. Why? If you have faith, and if you don't have faith, if you don't believe the person who is telling you, then that same news, that same information cannot give you happiness. Now think about the fact that we are saying that I have found Baba, and I'm going to just one birth, so just one step from this birth to the other, I'm going to be the king or queen of heaven. Do you understand what that means and what that can do to your happiness? But where is that happiness? And why is that happiness not there? Because there is no faith. We understand it that Baba is saying so, but I don't have the faith. If I had the faith, then it would reflect in my happiness. Yes, so this is something that Baba is saying. And I remember there was this one Mata, and just like every household, lots of things going on. So issues with in-laws or workplace and this and that, everything was going on. And then she got gyan. And then so when she came for the first time, this is 8 to 9 years back. So when she came for the first time, she told me about all the issues that were going on in and around her. And then she took the course. And then she continued, she was listening to the Murli. And then after 15 days, I asked her, so what about the problems at home? What is the status? Is everything okay? So she just looked at me and she said, what problems? So I said, the first day you came, you were talking about many things. So what's going on there? So she said, but now I have Baba and everything is fine, and now I don't know anything other than happiness. And I'm telling this to you about a soul who just was 15 days in Gyan. And that intoxication was there. And she told me that, Didi, there was this Sunday, there were 30 people who had come for lunch, and I was the only one. So in the morning, from Amrit Vela till 11 o'clock in the night, there was not 1 second when I was not standing or running around. But at 11 o'clock in the night, I was not tired this bit. And she said, because whenever, whenever I was doing something and then I suddenly saw the mirror, I could see that this is the soul sitting in this body who is going to be Sri Lakshmi in the next birth. So I always felt like, now I'm doing this and there I'm getting the reward. And it was such a beautiful feeling, like I could actually count the earning that I was having there. And every moment I was lovingly serving, and in Baba's love I was preparing food and I was doing everything, and I just had this tremendous joy. And I don't know how to look back from here. That is my past birth. I've forgotten everything. And that was something, that is one of my very initial experiences where I saw the power of Gyan. So, so of course we experienced it in our own life, but sometimes, you think that, okay, it happened to me, maybe it doesn't happen with everybody. So maybe I was an exception or something, or it just happened by chance, or maybe I was crazy enough for this to happen to me. But then I saw it happening in so many lives, and then I understood that, it is not like Baba has some special grace on me. So Baba is Baba, and every child is important, and Baba is giving that same sustenance to every child, each and every child. Only the child has to have that faith. And I have seen that intoxication of happiness in the face of children, Baba's children, who are mired in household stuff, all day. They have so much to do, so much to take care of, but that intoxication, that happiness keeps them, charged also, and they become an instrument for seva just because of their happiness. So this is something that Baba is saying today, that don't say that, I have faith, and the sign of faith is happiness. If you have faith that Baba has come and Baba is giving me the kingdom of heaven, that will be a different kind of happiness that will be reflected in your face and in your personality. So this is something that Baba is talking about today. And then Baba today says, the song is, so since the day we met, जिस दिन से मिले हम तुम, Naya din lage, nayi raat lage. So the day, since the day we met, the day is new, the night is new. So you see that earlier we only knew this day and night, so the 24-hour cycle, but now we know the day and night. We know what the day of this world looks like, what the day of this Srishti looks like, and we know the difference between the day and night. So you see that when we listen to Gyan, so in the beginning, when I ask, in the course, so what will be the difference between hell and heaven? Then people would say, okay, there'll be peace, there'll be happiness. So there are these two words, they come up. So in the new world, there'll be peace, there'll be happiness. So, but what is peace, what is happiness, that also they don't know. So probably, when we get the Gyan, we think that in the new world, everybody will behave according to me. Yes, or so maybe that is the idea we have, or because we don't know what is peace and happiness. But slowly, gradually, as we start listening to Gyan, imbibing Gyan, and this magical ability of the soul to tune in to another soul and draw from it. This is a very magical ability of the soul. So we souls can draw things from other souls. So it's not just what we do through the body. So of course the body, the ears will hear the music, the ears will hear the words, but the soul can draw the peace, the love, the joy, the promise, the hope, the faith, the knowledge, the power that's embedded or ingrained in that word or that music. So have you seen that when you even listen to music, the soul can draw the power that's there in the music. So the ear is just hearing the music. Who is getting the other stuff? The soul. So Baba says, when you make contact with me, when you listen to my murli, when you sit in yoga with me, you are able to draw in from me. And when you start drawing in from me, so you draw in purity, peace, love, power, everything from me. And as you, the soul, you of course do everything through the body. So you're sitting in the body is listening to the words. But in the body, the soul is receiving much more than the words. And as you keep drawing in, and even when the soul is just sitting in remembrance of Baba, you're drawing in so much into yourself. And Baba says, as you keep doing this, then you start understanding the difference between Satyug and Kalyug. You start realizing the difference between the day and night. And Baba says, just imagine, you see, in Satyug there are no vices. And in Kalyug we cannot imagine anything without vice. Yes? Can you imagine getting up from the bed if you have nothing to do? So we are so body conscious, we have become such doing beings that we cannot even imagine getting up without some work urgently waiting for us. So Baba says, slowly, gradually you start realizing how body consciousness is all about doing, getting, achieving, and how soul consciousness is all about being and expressing yourself as a being. Being proud of your being and thinking that it's your responsibility to express the being that you are. Yes, so it's not like, so in Satyug, life is an expression of the being. So the deity soul doesn't wait for, the deity soul doesn't wait for a demand to supply peace, happiness, love. So it is not waiting for somebody to seek happiness, peace, and love for it to give it. Yes, it is not seeking, that's one thing. But a deity soul is not even seeking someone seeking peace, love, and happiness from them. So we express our constant peace, love, and happiness in a world of peace, love, and happiness. That's beautiful, and that's beyond what we can think at this time. But now, slowly, gradually, as we tune into Baba, we start understanding these things. Baba says there is no other religion, no other Rajya. Yes, there is no religion. Peace and purity is the only religion. So there is nobody who is pure, and so there is no duality. There is no purity and impurity. There is just purity. Yes, so if you are not still getting Satyug, so I once asked one brother, do you understand what Satyug would be like? So he said, yeah, better than Kalyug. So I said, okay, now you have to listen to Baba, you have to listen to Murli and meditate for you to get what Satyug would be like. Yes, and then Baba says that once you start getting it, then your imagination is your preview to the future. What you get is what you create. If you start getting the idea, then that idea starts getting manifested into reality, because our thought is very powerful. So when we make contact with Baba, we start understanding. So we start understanding the future, we start understanding the deity world, and when we start thinking like that, then that world starts getting manifested. So Baba says, this is how I make you the creator of the new world, by giving you the knowledge of the new world. And there is something very sweet in the Murli today, which I would like to say before we finish. So Baba says, there are many who say, how do I remember a point? Yes, I can't remember a point, I can't focus on a point, and that too a non-physical point. Yes, not even a point on the wall. It's a point that's not visible. Ek to point hai, then visible bhi nahi hai. Yes, so that is something that many people say. And then Baba says, don't remember the point, remember your father. So that point is your father. So Baba says, which child can't remember his father? And you see that people remember dead fathers also. So they remember their dead Lokik parents also. So what is huge about remembering your father, even if he is a point of light? You know that I am a soul, you know this is my father. Very easy to remember your father, whatever his image is. And there is another beautiful thing, you see, with this advancement in technology, now we are working with points. So in your WhatsApp and all the various chat platforms that you use, you are using emojis. Yes, what are those emojis? Points. Yes, points which express everything. So it's a small point showing happiness, sadness, everything. So basically we are those emojis. So the soul is that emoji. But so it's a very interesting thing that at the end of the cycle we have this culture, and Baba is also a smiling point of light, a happy ocean of peace, ocean of happiness. So what's the big deal in remembering Baba as a point? Okay.